Hey, Renee.
Hi, Annette.
Well, today we're going to talk about joy a little bit.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned the day that you had found your joy, or that you realized that you had joy in your life that was not there before. And it was a
Mhm.
story about your mom actually talking to you about it. Can you share that?
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I guess you don't think about it until somebody points it out to you. And so this is what happened. One day I was at home. Um, this is probably, it was within my second year of counseling. So already getting counseling and therapy from the abuse. We had moved to a new town. And anyway, my mom had made a comment to me, and it was, Renee, I'm kind of jealous of you. Like, what for? Because you seem to have joy. And it just kind of struck me like weird. What do you mean? I'm always like this. She goes, no, you haven't always been like this. And when I actually look at my childhood pictures,
Mm.
if you looked at them, you could tell like there was a smile in it, but it wasn't a genuine smile. I wish I could explain that and hold up a picture, and show you the difference of the before and after. But I might have been smiling, but it wasn't a real smile. But that day, my mom was like, "You've got joy." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You smile now. You smile a lot." And I'm like, "Well, I don't, nothing was different in my life that I could remember." So I just started trying to backpedal, like, well, what was different? And wasn't a boy, nothing that was happening at school. And when I backtracked, well, what could have caused this difference that she's noticing? The only thing different in my life was Jesus. I had probably within the last month or a month ago from that time, and that's what I told her. I'm like, well, the only thing different is, and I hadn't told my mom, I guess, until that day, but I'm like, the only thing different recently was I found out about Jesus, that he's real and that he wants a relationship. And so I told him that I wanted to have a relationship back with him. I said, I found out he wasn't just the dude in the Bible and the guy up on the cross, that we've been seeing, that he wants to walk with people and spend time with them. And I told her I learned that he was not only a real dude who loved me, but I felt like he was a man that I could trust and who just wanted to walk alongside me. And I said, that's the only thing I can think of that was different. And we both agreed that had to have been it. And in that moment, I then shared with my mother what I had learned, about Jesus. And she actually came to choose to have a relationship with Jesus as well that same day. And it was because she saw that there was smiling in my life. And if people knew me now, they would never know the old me.
Right.
But I did not smile. I carried the weight. I carried the weight of the abuse and of life. Everything was just heavy on me. And so for my mom to point out that I was actually smiling, genuinely smiling, and she called it joy, I agreed with her because there was something different in me because of that meeting Jesus and the difference he was making in my life already. So,
Pretty cool.
right.
I love the part where your mom caught on and she wanted that. She wanted
Yeah.
some of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just odd for her to say, well, I'm jealous. I'm like, well, who would want to be jealous of me? But it was a great word that she used
Yes, it
because,
was very powerful.
yeah, it showed the potency of the difference. And I didn't realize I was smiling. I didn't realize I was walking in that, at that point
Yes.
and moving forward. So even now, when I get a compliment about my smile, I'll be like, it wasn't always this way. The smile is because Jesus and what he has been doing and continues to do in my life, you know? So thoughts?
When I thought of we were going to talk about joy, I kept thinking, well, I don't remember when I had that moment that you could share like that. And it was
Yeah.
like, what was it that made a change for me to enjoy life more?
Mm.
Or, whatever it is. Yeah, sure, I was building up trust in people, and I was having my relationship with God. But I think more than anything was that God gave me hope. Hope gave me joy. That
Mm.
trust and those pieces all together in Christ was what made joy more possible, more freeing, more
Right.
available, because I had God. He had my back, and he was going to
Yeah.
be there no matter
Yes.
what.
Yeah.
And when you think of joy, it isn't just being happy or smiling or whatever. But I've also read so many things talking about how you're not having to be responsible for somebody else's joy, like your husband.
Mm.
He doesn't have to have you provide all his joy for him, happiness, whatever it is. Otherwise, we would just be enablers.
Right.
And I think that was important for me to discover in life. Was I couldn't just be happy when John showed up, my husband. Or I couldn't just be happy when things were going right. I needed to be able to find that joy, that pure joy in Christ that I could have even in the most miserable times when you're not even feeling good and you're sick, or things are just going all wrong. I needed to be able to find that peace and joy. And that is just so baseline premised into Christ,
Very.
and that trust and that relationship that you were building at that time, which was just shining right out of you.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I've noticed it with others as well, as they have made a choice to ask Jesus to be part of their life. Like there was somebody who I had led to Christ, and they had said, I want more. That was their way of saying, I want more in this life. And that was their prayer to Jesus. I just want more. And it was, I want more of you. I want more in my life. I need that joy. Because I was explaining that to her. And from the point of her doing that shout out prayer, I watched a difference in her. I've watched that in several friends from the moment that they chose to give Jesus a try and get hope. I started watching that change of joy in their life. There was even one woman, there was just a change on her face. I've seen that actually in a handful of people, where just their demeanor of their facial expressions, that heaviness changed to just a lighter. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you know,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
there's a radiance that comes from within that just comes out, and it makes a person more beautiful. I don't know how to explain it, but Jesus brings joy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not right away that people notice it. Sometimes it's a little bit later, but he brings it. He offers it.
He
So
offers it. And I think it's in that contentment. I think joy and contentment, joy and hope, joy and having that trust, all those pieces together make joy so much richer, and how you're able to celebrate
absolutely, and how
life
you
in that.
navigate things.
That's
Yep,
for
I
sure.
agree.
All
Thanks.
right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yes, no problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.